fucking hang up, haven't you? Fucking hoity-toity,
Hey, buddy,
fucking...
hey. Enough with the curse words, all right?
Kiss my sweaty balls, you fat fuck.
You're good.
All right.
Yeah, yours is fine. I as usually have to like kiss it just a little bit.
You don't have my voice. Apparently, my voice can be heard. You could be shooting a gun and hear me. I could be locked in a compressor room and you could hear me.
Yeah, kind of makes me think of that. Remember Yanni and Laurel?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, we actually tested that here, and I think it was like one of our.
I heard that they found what makes it work. It's the pitch.
Yeah. That's what I heard, and well, it's funny because like a lot of people say they hear one or the other. I could actually hear both, because like it depends on like. Well, at first I heard Yanni, and then like I just listened to it a couple more times, and I listened for the bass because like that's again what makes it shift is that compression.
Are you all about that bass?
Please don't make me think of Megan Trainor and her ugly ass. I don't think she's that ugly, but I just wanted to...
She's not ugly, but her personality is.
Yeah, both are forgettable. I remember she's blonde. That's all I remember.
They play her song all the time at sub radio, one of them.
Huh. I hope that time's not moving so fast that she's on the retro station.
Oh, fuck.
What year did that come out? Was that 2014?
It sounds like 2014 to me, too.
Mm-hmm. I remember that in Party Rockers, or Sexy and I Know It. The band that did that was LMFAO. That was literally the name of their band. Or it was just a duo, so...
Yeah, at the Walmart I work at, they have a Walmart radio, and it is fucking schizophrenic. Like, they were like, Ring of Fire, then next thing you heard some pop shit trap song. Mm-hmm. I did not want to hear Johnny Cash and trap within 5 seconds of each other. That's just fucking, what?
But yeah, anyway, welcome to the Monkey Bar. I think this is our 40th episode, either there or 39th, depending on whether or not the last episode we recorded turns out like shit, because that's where I forgot the microphones. This week I forgot my notes, but thankfully I remember it was only a page, so I remember enough about what I was going to bring up. Before we talk about that, you want to talk about the recent video game announcements?
Yeah. Are you talking about Sword and Shield?
Yes, but more importantly, they also announced a remake of SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. So that's much more important. Yes, round of applause for that. I grew up playing that.
Was that the one on the GameCube?
Yeah.
God, I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
There's the jellyfish as the first boss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh man, fuck, I love that game.
Because I think within a year, they also did the SpongeBob SquarePants game based on the movie. And that
there was one for the PS2, but it wasn't?
Well, both of those were released on the PS2.
No, there was like a third one for PS2, I remember.
Yeah, I can't remember which one that was.
It was surreal.
Oh. Yeah, I think... Yeah, that was the one that probably came out after the movie. But yeah, Battle for Bikini Bottom was...
Did you hear about Camp Quarrel?
No.
They're making a prequel.
Oh yeah, It's a Wonderful Sponge, that one?
No, we're making a new series. It's a prequel of SpongeBob where he's like 13.
Ooh. I don't know how I feel about that. Because like when you first said prequel, my immediate thought was SpongeBob Babies.
Hello there, General Squidward.
But yeah, they usually do whenever I hear prequel, they usually do like the Baby Tunes remake, like Baby Looney Tunes, Baby Total Drama Island for some reason.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Yeah, Total Drama Island, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
I never really liked it.
I like the goth chick on there. I'd watch for the goth chick.
Obviously, yeah. And also the blonde bimbo with the big boobs, the big triangular titties.
Like, they had some, most of the girls on there were mildly pleasing aesthetically.
Yeah, it always makes you think of Clone High, which is a series that I've always been meaning to get around to watching, but
I heard I should watch Duckman.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's also another series that I'm only seeing clips of and not full episodes, but that's also a good one. Did you know that Jason Alexander almost broke his vocal cords playing that role?
Does not surprise me.
Yeah. Because he has to go like really, really gravelly all the way through. And
Jason Alexander's amazing.
Yeah. He also hates the George from Seinfeld memes. So like that makes him a little bit less amazing in my eyes.
I
mean, it's understandable when it gets spammed everywhere. I seriously hope you guys don't do that where he's like holding the bat.
God.
Like when you see that like every day, then
I want to talk about my new favorite meme. I found a meme. It's the Me and the Boys, but it's the Spider-Man characters.
Oh yeah.
That fucking Rhino is my favorite thing ever.
I just saw that yesterday, and did that come out recently? Because
There's a couple permeations on them, but they've recently spiked with
Yeah.
those ones. There's one where it's them in the Beatles pose.
Mm-hmm.
Even the fucking Crusader memes got around to them.
yeah. But Pokemon, that's also. I'm actually really, really not interested in Pokemon nowadays.
I am not gonna lie. I'm interested in this one. I haven't played Sun and Moon. I haven't played X1. My last one was when it was fucking. Back in my day, the Pokemon didn't fucking move. They were 2D sprites that danced rarely.
Yeah, I think the last Pokemon game. I mean, not counting Sun, which I only played like an hour of and got bored of it. The last one I played, I think, was Sapphire, and I think that was actually on an emulator.
God, I got the emulator. I'm fucking like reliving my childhood. Oh my fucking god, it's a fucking Turtwig.
Yeah, but the trailer dropped and people are already picking out waifus.
Yeah.
Like that, the one smug girl, like the rich bitch looking one with the blazer.
Yeah, like fuck.
Like I've already seen porn.
The
of it.
text female is how you make waifu. There's even fucking waifus in the Godzilla fandom that aren't the two fairies.
Oh, I actually saw that on like it was the Know Your Meme gallery. Like people are like shipping Godzilla with Mothra.
Oh, that's been around for years.
Oh, really?
It's like one of my favorite bits of fan art ever back when I was a weeb is Godzilla is a samurai with Mothra as the like maiden chick, and it kind of works given their characters' relationship.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of that, can I tell you my favorite thing about the King of the Monster reviews?
Go right ahead.
It's fucking amazing! I had high expectations for this film. I came into this movie like I walked in there like a film critic, like that guy in the smelling the wine, ready to watch my Godzilla, and I was not fucking disappointed. Best American Godzilla film, top 3 easily for me. I will say my favorite thing is like one of the review people was like, "Oh my god, Mothra's a disgusting moth monster. How can anyone like it?" And then Tumblr, fucking Facebook, Instagram, every fandom that likes Godzilla is like getting their ball bats out. My favorite thing about the movie, I teared up and actually physically cried at one point. I'm gonna explain why. Back in my day, they'd never played Godzilla's theme in American movies, and Godzilla's theme was cool. But when they show, can I spoil a scene? Mothra makes a cocoon, and she comes out in a breathtaking scene, and then you hear the Mothra theme. And I heard at least 6 other nerds going, Mothra, yeah, Mothra. And there were no fairies in there, but there was a cool allusion to them. Fucking Mothra kicked ass. Oh man, it was fucking great.
Yeah, it's good to hear. I've been meaning to go see it myself.
If you want to see it, I mean, yeah, I'd fucking like to watch a review.
Sure.
Just be warned, some of the humans range from really fucking good actor, you know which one that guy is, to, oh, you're okay, to, I honestly was waiting for a Godzilla to physically grab one person and crush him in his palm, pop his head off. You know in Evangelion?
Oh. Weather alert. Flash flood warning. Wonder if this is gonna have like some feedback on the mic. Probably not. But
fucking, it's flooding. Oh my fucking god! There's 2 and 2 of every animal.
Godzilla is going back into the ocean.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing is in the first part there's like a blink and you miss it. And they reference like Godzilla fucking ruined the economy of the entire United States.
So like an image macro saying like if Godzilla were real, he'd produce 15 million gallons of urine every day.
And did you see what the person in the comments said?
What?
A guy put, "No, I drink every gallon of it."
Of course. I mean, I'm not even a little bit surprised.
God, fuck furries. I'm sorry, y'all are ruining Godzilla.
I mean, it's hard to tell if that's a furry or a shit poster.
You know, why not both? God. But yeah, good movie. Like, and there were some monsters in there, and I once saw what they looked like. One of them had me doing I'll take your fucking entire stock. I want a toy of him so I can pose on my desk. Yeah. You done fucked up. I don't know. You don't fucked up. I don't know. Fuck.
You done not fucked it up.
You done didn't fuck up.
Yeah. Any other movies you're looking forward to this year?
I'm kind of Far From Home.
Yeah.
Like, I have a friend who's super into Mysterio I might watch it with.
Okay.
You know, if he doesn't, kill me in my sleep first, I don't know. You know, most people are murdered by people they know. I bet those incels are really worried, the ones that have like 3 people in their entire human knowledge.
I mean, I'm sure that some people have thought about that, if like they're the type of personalities that you're talking about. But speaking of incels, you want to talk about the cartoon reviewing community?
That was a good transition on my part, but I didn't even realize about. Okay, what's going on here?
I just wanted to talk a little bit about them because it's just something that's been on my mind for a while. I know that. Are you familiar with the mysterious Mr. Enter?
He used to be a big fan and has dropped out.
He's actually been making some pretty decent videos now that aren't actually cartoon reviews. He's been doing this series called Technocracy, which is sort of like it's like an overview of like these big corporations like YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, and he sort of like dissects like what's wrong with these companies and like what they're doing to deceive their consumers or whatever. And he's actually doing a pretty coherent job of like it has to do with him like actually hiring an editor for his videos now. And also like he makes a bunch of good points when he's not trying to like critique baby cartoons made for babies. Then he makes himself actually sound pretty smart and well informed about certain topics. That's one thing that I mentioned to talk about, like regarding like just to the community as a whole. Like I hate even calling them a community because it's just such a, I don't know.
It's like, look at that thing, it ain't right.
Yeah, it's like this sort of elitism about a subject that, like, really they're not the primary demographic for.
I couldn't get into, I don't know, fucking avant-garde art film made for a Frenchman in 1920. So it's shitty.
Yeah. Well, one thing in particular that always got on my nerves is that for all these people like complaining about a children's cartoon, they never once consult actual children about their opinions of that show.
That'd be an interesting idea. You sit down your kid or you steal a kid or whatever, and you watch the same episodes and you go back and forth.
Or even just like sitting down a kid and asking him, "What's your favorite cartoon? What do you like about this cartoon? What's your least favorite thing about this cartoon?" I've never once seen any of these people do that, and that's always just made me like respect them a lot less. All of them.
If it ever does count, James Ralph has talked to his kid about things they watch.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Like,
I fucking love James Ralph.
Yeah, James Ralph is great.
He's wholesome as fuck.
Side note also, Too Many Games convention in Pennsylvania is coming up soon, later this month. He's going to be there. Vine Sauce is going to be there. Scott the Woz, Boogie 2988.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's 3 people there I want to meet now.
Some Call Me Johnny, and a few others. So yeah, like if I were going, I don't think I'll be able to make it, but like one of these days, I'd like to go to one of these game conventions and meet these guys.
I wanted to mention something. I was going for a rough time. I found Boogie's videos. Boogie got me through some rough stuff.
Yeah, I've never really gotten into his like I think I've seen like a couple of his videos back in the day.
I got into him with Francis, and I learned who the real Boogie was.
Yeah.
The real Boogie 2988 was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, from what I understand, he's a pretty cool guy too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the like cartoon, like some of the cartoon guys, even some of them are pretty all right. One of the guys I've been watching is Ellis Mark, who's a smaller guy, but he's been gaining traction.
Like, for example, I'm not sure if Mark probably fucking did because I stopped watching him, but I respect all the charities he does, even though he's now kind of catering to 13-year-old spazzes.
You're talking about Markiplier?
Yeah.
Okay. I was mentioning...
Oh, Game Room guys.
Yeah. Ellis Mark, he's this British guy who, like... He's actually pretty... Like, he actually did a video of his own about the cartoon community. He was pretty light on them, though. I think that... Like he was also pretty critical of Game Grumps. He did a few videos on them, which that's another channel that I've stopped watching for years. And apparently they're not doing too well because of Aaron's poor business decisions.
I liked it better when it was early Aaron and Danny, and I also liked Aaron and John.
Yeah, that was basically my thoughts too.
Yeah.
I think I stopped watching them. I can't really pinpoint. I think it might have been 2015 that I stopped watching them.
But yeah, 2015, 1 year since the event that ruined music.
I thought you were going to bring up Evangelion again.
Fuck. What happened in 2015 of Ava?
That's
the rebuild.
Third
right?
Impact.
God. The one that I actually only saw it once, and it was so awful. I blocked everything except for a part where Shinji and Kaoru were playing the fucking piano, and there was dancing horses running around the room. And I think that is some sort of homosexual context that like two people get.
And then you hear Kanye West start to play. You know what I'm talking about?
The what?
That's that music video they did for Bound 2 with the horses and him on the motorcycle with Kim Kardashian. And just looks.
Can she sit on the motorcycle?
I think she's on the side. I don't know if she's on the motorcycle.
No, because then like her ass is making her pull a permanent wheelie all the way there.
Yeah, like I like makes you think of H3H3 did a video. It was like one of these YouTube channels that interview celebrities, or they ask them a certain amount of questions, and like Kim was taking them through a tour of her and Kanye's house. It looks like just like a museum or a mausoleum. It's so empty in there, but you just see her ass, like just she turns and it's like a shelf.
You know, like they call that shelf ash for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Like,
you know, High School of the Dead where they have that gun part where you have the gun. Fuck, you can like. She could mount the gun there.
I mean, that like the part of the most iconic scene is the one where he shoots the bullet through her like bouncing cleavage.
You have to, you know, if that was somewhat more realistic, she would have fucking strangled him. You're gonna fucking hit me. God.
Like if it was more realistic, it would have just gone like straight through him. Because like there's no way tits can bounce that fast. Because like either the bullet has to be going like super slow.
They're silicone. God. Episode 7 was actually almost complete softcore porn. Of High School of the Dead.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about
mentioned this because I was watching like, whoa, man.
Was that one in the bath?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then like, you know, whoa, man. Watch episode 8, 9. Guess who's gonna watch without repeat? That's me cracking my knuckles when I was 13.
Uh-huh. Oh my God. I'm trying to think of like anime that I watched. I didn't actually watch a lot of anime when I was a teenager.
There was 2 animes I was obsessed with, and you know one of them. Have you ever heard of Blast Reader?
No.
It had the most fucking metal monsters ever. Picture vampire cyborg zombies that could fuse with metal. And then it had kind of a Shadow Hedgehog kind of anti-hero, but kind of doesn't talk much. It's black and red hair and the edgy overpower. Man, that was like fucking perfect edge. And the ending, everyone fucking dies. There is not a single character you like who will make it, I bet.
Wouldn't it be great if there was a Sonic game that ended with everybody dying?
I want there to be, like, you know, make it through and then, like, make it Sonic the Hedgehog featuring, like, fucking Doomslayer. And in the final scene, he kills all the Hedgehog characters.
You know what? I would actually, unironically, love a sequel to Shadow the Hedgehog.
It's actually the same. And do you know what they should do for it? You know, like you should have, I don't know, have, like, a fucking part where you could do, like, stunts in midair and you could shoot in midair with slow-mo.
Reminds me of Matrix Path of Neo.
Yeah.
That was a really good game.
Oh, lightning.
Yeah, like it was. I liked its sense of humor above all, because that's something you didn't really get in the movies.
Like the movies were way too serious, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then but then you had really silly moments in Path of Neo, like you fought a giant ant, and the part with the robot Smith at the end.
God.
Like, and like there's a part where you're fighting the Oracle's apprentice or whatever, and you like crashed into a movie theater with the movie scene from The Matrix playing on the projector, and some guy in the theater is heckling you guys while you're fighting.
Do you know what I want? I want a Bollywood director to have the budget of Endgame. And I'm sorry, I'm thinking about this because remember that fucking. Who would actually random question? What movie would you want a Bollywood director with limitless funds to make?
Probably that Holes movie.
I'm just picturing it. You have the music video of the 4 guys dancing. Remember, you know what I'm talking about, right? That's the ending.
Remind me what that is.
It's the one there's like the fireball that falls and you know, like the guy doing and he's dancing and he has green screen copies of him with different colors. It's that Indian meme music video.
Okay, I'll have to look that up.
God, I hate that I can't remember its name. But picture like in the final part, they open the spark plug hammer case, and the guy comes out and they just start dancing and singing for the rest of the film. Mm-hmm. Personally, I would like to see a Bollywood Mad Max.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, that'd be neat.
Fucking have like a Megatron car. Mm-hmm. Or random tiger imagery. Mm-hmm. They show you that one clip where the guy beats up the entire group of guys with his belt.
I think so.
There's the part he grabs that big signpost and starts shaking until he rips it out.
Mm-hmm. You're seeing that clip of the Boondocks where, it's where the old lady is beating up Riley, and they show like a scene from Naruto where like the exact fighting motions, like so they actually took the choreography from Naruto and put it in Boondocks.
I fucking love Boondocks.
It's such a great show.
and I don't want to bad here. It's not like a show that you can openly go, yeah, that show is so quotable. Mm-hmm. Say me one quote.
Uh-huh. No.
You can't say anything that Uncle Ruckus says. Uh-huh. And he's probably my favorite fucking character outside Granddad.
Yeah. Also Stink Meaner.
Oh, God. The possession episode.
Oh, yeah. Read. Person read.
The person's job resumes. God.
But yeah, more on the cartoon community. You ever heard of Quentin reviews?
It's familiar.
Yeah. I used to watch him, but I stopped after he started going off the deep end with, leftism, I think, for lack of a better term. There was the review he did for The Thinning Part 2. Mm-hmm. It was like The Thinning was like a YouTube Red original movie starring Logan Paul in the lead role. And of course, after the controversy, when the sequel was in post-production, they put that on hold for reasons. But eventually that came out, and there's this part in the review where Quentin just stops to say like how much he hates Trump, and it's like just really. It has something to do with the movie because it's like has political themes in it, but there's nothing really all that harshly connected to Trump. But he just stops.
What I would like to do for a political movie? Have a character who's super hardcore, fucking, this and that, like, make a character who's super leftist, super right wing, have them fucking team up as politicians against the big alien threat. Have that fucking scene happen, where I might think you're a piece of shit, but that giant alien Zorgulon is gonna eat the planet.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Independence Day.
Kind of. Yeah. But good.
I still like it for the first Independence Day movie.
I miss Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. I wouldn't argue that the first Independence Day is a great or even good movie. It's entertaining, I think.
Yeah, I miss that in some movies. Since the entertainment value.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of politics, I guess. But like on the way over here, I was thinking about superheroes, and like I remember there was this one post on 8chan where they were talking about how the reason that superheroes feel outdated now is because like superheroes by definition they exist to protect the status quo, and like how in the 40s and 50s everything was going really great for America, so like for them to like defend and protect American values
was easier.
It was easier. It didn't have like all this complications that came about in the 60s and 70s and so on and so forth.
Excuse me if I borrow inspiration from this.
Mm-hmm. That's probably a reason why the 90s had like such over the top like violence. Aside from like bringing in like all the readers who wanted that stuff.
And Spawn.
Yeah, and Spawn.
I'm sorry, Spawn's gonna be in Mortal Kombat 11. They confirmed him.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, all that was actually just all the edgy stuff was of course aping Watchmen, which did gangbusters and presented a really new and interesting idea. And so of course the less talented writers, not all of them obviously, but like a lot of them wanted a quick buck, so they just said, we just need more blood and gore in our comics.
All right, but give me a name. Jawbreaker. Good. Write a script. What's your name? Something Frog. Go on. What's yours? I want to make a story about a superhero who has not.
Apparently, Cyberfrog Blood Honey is actually out, or it's finished.
Blood Honey?
Yeah, that's the actual title, because like the original Cyberfrog was released in the 90s, much like the original Jawbreakers. So like, it's.
I like puns.
Yeah.
I want to make a fucking comic called The Soldier of No Porpoise. Mm-hmm. Blood honey. Is it trying to be sarcastic?
Well, it doesn't look like it. From what I've seen of the
Is he an actual frog?
Yeah, and like he looks like it's a terrible design too. It's just like you know what? I'm actually going to pull up a picture because I think you need to see this.
Okay, now don't. I'm sorry, man. What the fuck? Designs are important. I mean, I make shitty designs, but God.
Yeah, but yeah, it's.
Is this gonna be the original or the remake?
I think they look the same in either iteration.
Okay. Let's see how bad this is. I'm picturing, that frog from Hoodwinked. Can you see that?
Yeah.
What in the actual fuck?
Yeah, it's such a busy design. It reminds me of what.
He doesn't have a jaw.
Yeah.
He's got that little sliver. No. Frogs got big jaws. Even especially bullfrogs.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the sack.
He needs that. That should be his ability, but he can shoot out the sack and fly away.
Yeah, it's pretty clearly who's trying to rip off.
Ninja Turtles.
No, I was thinking of Battletoads, but yeah, Ninja Turtles also.
Well, yeah. You know what the issue is? He looks like a monster from Power Rangers.
Yeah. Another comparison that I thought of was Knack. When Video Game Donkey was doing his review of Knack. And
What's
remember,
Knack?
Knack was the PS4 launch title, I think.
Oh, that one.
And
was
like,
it good?
No, of course not. But like, he was talking like he made it into like this meme where he's like, "Knack, here comes the money, baby." And he was just making it sound like it was a lot bigger and like cooler than it actually was on purpose.
Do you know what I would like to do? I would like to make a review. Ever heard of Life of Black Tiger?
Sounds familiar.
It's the Android game they put on PS4 where you play the tiger. I want to make a review of it. You don't show any footage, but you hype it up to be the best game possible. Fucking like, and there's the part where you fight the Tyrannosaurus while the Mafia shoots you, and then you play it, and it's fucking shovelware. Man, my God, that was an awful design.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get it out of my head how awful it is.
And I just showed it to you. So.
So I've been learning how to make masks, and there's a tip that I heard with monster and creature design. You push anatomy, you don't break it. That fucking threw anatomy out the window.
Yeah. Like I also think about like an interesting thing was about in relation to Mob Psycho 100. I think it was Super Eye Patch Wolf, his review of it. He was talking about how he had an art teacher who said, as long as if you draw with enough balls, then your audience will be able to buy it. That's kind of the art style of the original comic of Mob Psycho 100. Is that one is clearly at the time he started it, he was still learning, and a lot of his anatomy looks wonky, but he pushes his poses
Wild.
far. I wouldn't say he pushes his poses that far, but he's has such a firm stance on committing to what these characters look
Do you think
like.
he does the thing where you draw a shape and then you draw the thing inside the shape?
Yeah, I think so. It looks like that.
I always wanted to try doing that. I might start that.
Yeah. See, what else can we talk about? What were we originally talking about? What let us down?
Cartoon
cartoon reviewers.
You know what? One reviewer. Have you ever heard of Bob Show?
No.
He's a reviewer I kind of liked, but I don't want to say it like this. He went down a dark path when he started reviewing Alpha and Omega sequels. Because he started making a wolf puppet, and that wolf puppet became, and you could tell that he really liked those anthropomorphic characters. And it's like, it's kind of creepy in a way, and I don't want to talk shit about the guy, but I don't know. He reviewed a lot of really young kid stuff.
Yeah, that sort of goes back to my original point about the broad spectrum of...
Technically, he did ask his kid for an idea of what to review once.
Okay. Yeah, that's at least a step in the right direction, I think. What?
I was looking at the rain outside.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to be so strict. I know that.
I apologize, man. I have a slight phobia of lightning and thunder.
Yeah.
Not so much the thunder, it's more of a lightning. Because I'm fucking tall and I'm afraid that a lightning bolt will hit me. It'll just curve around the tree.
Yeah.
It's there's archers that can shoot an arrow but it curves around to hit a target. What they do is they use less tension. Fucking archers are cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that's still a viable weapon in first-person shooters to this day. just because it's cool.
Ever played the Turok game?
Not the Turok
The
game.
2008 one?
No.
Fucking bow and arrow is awesome because you could like pin dinosaurs to trees.
And I remember that in the Half-Life Source, where they implemented that physics from Half-Life 2. Because like in Half-Life 2, you have the crossbow that pins enemies to walls.
God, you know what had that graphic too? The fucking Predator Concrete Jungle, one of my favorite games of all time. My favorite thing I used to do is like you do the Predator call, but what was really cool is if you actually heard the dialogue, it would be added to your call. And if you beat the game, your Predator gets you fight a mobster who the Predator somehow knocks up his wife. How? His blood got shot and ended up in her womb. So Predator, they use their blood to reproduce, probably.
Reminds me of that was actually the idea behind Jodorowsky's Dune. Was at the beginning how Paul Atreides, the main character of the movie, his father was castrated, so he had to have his blood drawn by a witch and put into his wife's womb to conceive a child.
I want to see Predator and Dune in the same setting.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Do you think could they take the spine of it? Do the worms have spines?
I don't know. I don't think so.
God, can you imagine how pissed off Predator would be like, yeah, we hunted this thing and they cut it off and there's no bones? No.
I mean, Metabarons, that's the comic that adapted that idea into... Because, after Jodorowsky obviously wasn't able to get Dune made, he still collaborated with Mobius to create the In-Call series and the Metabarons tie-in series. So, ideas from Dune still survive in comic form.
I want to borrow the idea of a mouth thing where the mouth is the gate and the tongue rolls out.
Yeah. Have you seen that picture?
I haven't, but I love my Mendelver. Yeah. I saw this picture online on, r/, which is one of my favorite subreddits. Big, fat, Slavic priest guy. I mean, dummy thick fat. Is bitch slapping an old peasant woman. And that guy is the guy who I picture when the mouth opens up and the tongue rolls out. God, I collect r/him to text people I know randomly during the middle of the night.
I was thinking about how memes have just kind of ruined my ability to consume media. And it was I was playing Persona 5. I've gotten to the point where you're ready to infiltrate the or ready to face the final boss on the cruise ship, and so I think I've gotten to the point that you talked about, where you're like, unless that comes later.
What?
The part the big plot twist.
Yeah.
The part where you're trying they're at the pool and On is trying to get on the guy's good side, and then she fights him off when he gets a little handsy. And, when she says, he's a molester, and I immediately thought of that scene in Freddy Got Fingered, where he's breaks out of the psychologist's office. He's just he's a molester, he's a child molester.
Oh my god, the game only gets better from here on, my dude.
Okay, well, I think I've had some of it spoiled for me. There's two things left that I think I've had. I know that you fight the Twin Wardens at some point, and also the last level is in Mementos, because I found that out by going through the walk, just skimming, as I saw the table of contents.
Yeah.
But
I'm just gonna tell you this: fucking twins will whip your ass.
Okay.
What difficulty are you on?
I switched to easy because fuck that cruise ship level. All the backtracking, fuck that shit. I'm not going to fucking die and have to do all that shit over.
I learned to fucking avoid. Once I collect, I have a table of every persona that appears in every fucking dungeon. When I get all the personas, I'm fucking running like a motherfucker away from shit.
Yeah, but then you're underleveled for the boss fights, aren't you?
True. I'm currently doing New Game Plus of the hardest difficulty. Okay. I am currently in Madarami's Palace.
Okay.
Remember that Nui boss, the monkey cat tiger? Mm-hmm. Fuck him with a hammer.
Yeah. I heard that Persona 4 or 5 Royal is coming out next year.
Where you play as a girl. I think what they're going to do is that you play as an alternate character's point of view who becomes a Phantom Thief.
Huh.
It would be cool if she got her own team of thieves. You didn't get An and Ryuji, but you got some of the other confidants. Because fuck me, do you know who I want as a Persona party member? I want the politician guy, who is played by Doc Ock from Spider-Man. his persona is just fucking. It's just the statue of Abe Lincoln or some shit like that.
Huh.
It rides its chair shooting lasers at you.
I think of that episode of Dexter's Lab where he like puts he turns Mount Rushmore into giant fighting robots.
Oh my god. Man, Dexter's Lab was great.
Yeah, Genndy Tartakovsky is actually coming out with a new series on Adult Swim.
What's it called?
It's called Primal, and it's about a caveman trying to survive like all this like prehistoric fauna. Like the trailer ends with him like stabbing a T-Rex that has him caught in his jaws.
God, I like caveman shit. I would make a caveman comedy where it's like, it follows the cavemen who the babies were kind of funny, so they left them in the woods to die. So you get basically mentally challenged cavemen.
Yeah, Primal looks great. It looks like it might actually be a silent series because there's no dialogue. If it's going to be like the main character is a caveman, and he's just fighting all this megafauna, it might just be a silent.
You know what I would do if you wanted that dialogue? Have an archaeologist, like, you know, look at this weird fossil here. Well, you can see that it did this, and then it shows in actuality him running for his life, screaming. God, cavemen are cool.
Yeah. And you bring that up, it makes me think about how sanitized a lot of that stuff is in like history class.
Oh fuck! Like real fossil. Fuck, cavemen were dirty motherfuckers. They were wild.
Yeah. Or even in like when I first played Assassin's Creed 3 and how like they show all the bloody gory stuff that not even the History Channel showed at the time.
You know what I think would be a cool Assassin's Creed setting? Imperialist Russia. Like fucking have Rasputin as the assassin.
I'm thinking of Assassin's Creed in the 80s in China, and how like when you get to the Tiananmen Square level, then nothing happens.
God, I love that meme. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, random fact. I've been playing a Magikarp game on the phone. If you screw up, your Magikarp fucking dies. I had a Voltorb, pull a fucking kamikaze on my Magikarp.
I heard that the Russo brothers are actually going to be making a Magic the Gathering series for Netflix.
I saw that. I'm an MDC nerd. I can only hope one thing, but they don't fucking... I hope that Garrus is in there. Can I tell you who Garrus is?
Sure.
Basically, he's a fucking druid. And druids are always, the pansies right now. He is a druid who can beat a monster into submission and then have it fight for him. He can turn fauna against their masters. He's fucking cool. And then they did a card of him choking a woman character, and he hasn't appeared since.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about Magic the Gathering. So.
Imagine every setting is some setting that you've already heard push to be extreme. I'm glad I didn't hit the microphone.
That's fine.
Like, it's not just like Aztecs, it's fucking vampire conquistadors fighting orc pirates while mermaids and dinosaurs fight against a magical sun with a flaming minotaur who has chains like Kratos. And then you get in a gothic horror, but it's actually eldritch monsters everywhere, which I wish I came up with. Or fucking fairy tales that when night falls, it becomes a fucking H.R. Geiger nightmare. And it also has lobster people, who are the worst. There will be many neckbeards crying about it.
Yeah, I can't imagine the Netflix adaptation like keeping a lot of the awesome stuff.
I think they should just make their own planes. Like, this plane, but it has fucking tigers that shoot lightning from their tails. Or speaking of Sword and Shield Pokemon, I was thinking about that. That one Pokemon's from fucking Dark Souls. The one that's the wolf with the sword in its mouth.
I haven't seen that one.
There's a boss in Dark Souls that has...
Oh, yeah, Sif, yeah.
Yeah, it's Sith, but have you seen the legendaries? I just spoil one. The one is a wolf, but you know how they got that tuft of hair on them? It's a fucking shield, and he looks cool. The other one is Sith. They have fucking Sith as a Pokemon. The settings get me excited because I hope that they buff Steel. And I'm going to be honest here, I'm a Pokemon nerd. I hate that Steel's now one of the worst typings. Fuck you, Nintendo. I love how when they announced Pokemon Sleep, I admit I was like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. But then I realized no one wants to talk shit about Uncle Nintendo. Uncle Nintendo is the cool corporate franchise. Did they turn rainbow? Did they turn rainbow for Pride?
No.
Cool.
I saw one from a fake Twitter account of Mario and Luigi kissing.
Oh.
And somebody reposted that a parody account from of Miyamoto saying I saw a picture of Mario and Luigi kissing online. Please do not do that. And I still use that phrase to this day, that please do not do that. Because I remember somebody sent me a picture of their dick on Facebook, and I just replied with that.
Oh man.
But yeah, anyway.
Sorry about that.
I mean, I don't even remember what it looks like. It's not that traumatizing. I've seen like 100 of them every day.
You ain't a nerd, though.
I'd love to see somebody take that out of context.
My grandmother once, not my grandmother, my mother once said she's seen more dick than a $2 whore because she's a nurse and she works in a nursing home now. Old men don't even know if you're a nurse, they'll just flash you. Look at my balls! She had to work with a lady. She was a Holocaust survivor. She is German and Russian. She can speak both languages. Guess what she can't speak?
What?
English. She fucking took 9 nurses to hold her down and take her knives and sharp objects away from her. God. You never hear about in superhero universes? What if Superman got dementia?
I was just thinking about that the other day, because I was on the Shitty Webcomics Discord. They were talking about how... They were talking about My Hero Academia, and how great it is that series, and a lot of other Japanese superhero series, they don't shy away from like the gritty details. Because Midoriya, the main character, he's always at risk of just shattering his arms and legs whenever he uses his powers.
I had a sort of rip-off character that in a way. His power is that he could shut off his nerve receptors and overcharge his physical muscles. Guess what the issue is? He can fucking cripple himself.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, is that you would never see. There aren't many
American stories who would do that.
Like, the only one I can think of is probably Batman, like the part where Bane breaks his back. But I think that's like the only notable exception, because that's the one that always gets reprinted and brought up and adapted into a fucking movie. So.
You know what I would like to fucking see happen? Flash hits a semi-truck we didn't see coming. Like, he's flashing and turns to talk to Booster Gold and hits a semi-truck.
Yeah.
And it's him in a full-body cast.
I mean, there were some weird ones that they post to the Discord. Like, one is where Spider-Man just straight up punches a woman's face in because he's in a graveyard and thinks that somebody's sneaking up on him. And it's just some random woman. There's also
Are you a Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's basically what happens. There's also a Superman comic where he uses his heat ray vision on a pregnant woman and kills her child or something.
Can I mention the dumbest thing I ever thought of? How long do you think it takes to put on a Superman suit?
Well,
think of how complex some of these suits are.
Well, I was thinking about the cartoons from I can't remember their name, but the cartoons from the 30s where he's in the phone booth and he takes them I guess depending on what
Well, he's super speed.
Yeah, it takes him either 5 to 1 seconds, I guess.
Here's the thing about what if you have to take a shit and you're in your full costume? What do you do? I have this one of my joke ideas is the character came up with a fucking quick release on his suit.
Yeah.
Well, when you're fighting someone and you see this little dangly thing, they pulled on it. Uh-oh.
I remember there was this, and this is going to sound weird, but there's a Family Guy episode where they're in the future, and there's a function in the air where they can just say, oh, I need to take a poop, and then something teleports it and sends it to another dimension out of you. So I imagine Superman has a hidden ability that allows him to do that.
J.K. Rowling does too.
Yeah. That's funny because this was years before J.K. Rowling.
Do you think J.K. Rowling watches Family Guy, man?
Oh, probably.
I learned a thing. Here's the thing. You can tell the difference between characters by how they feel about Family Guy.
Yeah,
Have you seen that chart?
No, I haven't.
It goes these Joker, for example. Cesar Romero Joker doesn't watch Family Guy, doesn't like it. Jack Nicholson appreciates Family Guy for its dark humor, doesn't watch it much. Jared Leto Joker watches it and enjoys it heavily, citing it as a masterpiece. Heath Ledger doesn't like it, but ironically supports its message.
I was thinking about the triangle chart. I think you're probably talking about the tier maker stuff.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of tier maker lists.
I like tier maker stuff.
But I was thinking about the triangle chart just a couple days ago. There was one with John Mulaney joke, the one where he's talking about the time that his dad is driving past a McDonald's, and then everybody in the car is chanting McDonald's, McDonald's, and then his father pulls in, he just orders a single black coffee and then leaves. And then there's the chart says either, the response is either we have food at home, or gets McDonald's, and the third one is order a black coffee. So and then you space out all these characters. I was thinking, like, the one I came up with was, would you hit a woman? So, like, for all my main characters.
Yeah.
Or male characters.
Okay.
I mean, what's the difference, right? But, like, it's either yes, no, or depending on the circumstance.
Okay, I'm going to do these for my character, Smokes.
Well, I mean, with Smokes, all of them are going to be in yes.
Yeah, but here's the issue now. But if you put in, like, Orca, maybe. Depends on the thing. Because, he's raised by a homeless supervillain. Skunk Rock would deck her. Skunk Rock does not care.
Uh-huh.
When I put on the mask.
Mm-hmm.
That quote.
Yeah, but they brought up going back to the shitty webcomics Discord when they were talking about like the weird and off-putting the thing is the argument they brought up is that superhero comics, they kind of need to be like really off-putting and weird. They sort of need to go back to that weird like 30s era part. It made me think of Stardust, actually. You ever heard of that superhero?
Yeah.
He's like this superhero who's like insane to the point where, I mean, like the creator of that, his son actually took a lot of the unused manuscripts and then burned them because
how weird they were.
No, just because he hated his father. But like the superhero himself,
Thank you, Dad.
the superhero himself is like the epitome of a god complex, in that he's basically a Superman, and but like. If he finds out a mob boss is doing something wrong, he will take that mob boss up into space, slice him into 1,000 pieces, compress those pieces, and throw them into a distant star. Go to that star, blow it up, turn it into a black hole, make that black hole collide with another black hole, reset the universe into a new one where that person does not exist and never will.
Oh my God.
Basically, I don't think that actually happens, but
that's something in the vein of it.
Yeah, something in the vein of it. And like,
I had an idea for like a character whose whole power is they are the literal embodiment of a comics code. Mm-hmm. If you break any of a comic code rules, they destroy you from reality. Any superhero who smokes disintegrates.
Mm-hmm. Or does drugs, yeah.
God, fucking Skunk Rock is running for his life.
Mm-hmm.
God, canonically, Skunk Rock's been divorced 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta make that comic just so people know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it, and then all of you will read my work and go, yeah, I know he's talking. That's kind of shitty, but I dig it.
Mm-hmm. And like I was thinking about Stardust and incorporating some of that into Mel Murray. And I can bring up Mel Murray. I'm not a hypocrite because I've actually put out stuff like that, like those comics.
I want him, like, you should do like a Passion of a Mel Murray.
Yeah, I was thinking about like just going like full weird. I was gonna revisit Tails Gets Trolled because that's one of my favorites, like off the wall.
Is that the one where they have the Ava frame where it's like the chick from Helga inside the unit 2?
I don't think so. I think that's its own thing. But yeah, stuff like that. It's like really weird and off-put. Yeah, I remember that's one with Rorschach is there too.
And Eggman.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Tails Gets Trolls is probably my favorite webcomic ever.
My favorite depends on my mood. One that I remember is called Alien Loves Predator. Mm-hmm. The guy literally, it's a sitcom where he has pictures of Alien and the Predator like action figures.
Right.
But they're roommates. My favorite joke is the mom. You know that lady, the one who wears leopard print and the high heels, buries herself in makeup, who has like 6 kids. You know who I'm talking about, right, back person? Mm-hmm. That's the alien queen. My favorite part is Jesus joins the New York Giants, and presumably they actually lose when Jesus joins.
Another one of my favorites is probably Concerned, this Gmod webcomic. It was back in 2007. That might have actually been when it ended. Or no.
Do you remember when Gmod existed before Thor Filmmaker?
Mm-hmm. Those were, I always point to Kitty 0706 as being the pinnacle of...
did he do any of a Penis Cupcake?
He did Team Fabulous 2, Mass Defect, and all... I've brought him up before. He also did the Grand Theft Auto Filmmaker movies. But yeah, Team Fabulous 2 is probably his magnum opus. It's a shame what happened to him, because we'll never know where he would have gone from there. He died of cancer.
I remember.
He was younger than me. Back in 2015. So, yeah, it's
rest in peace, dude.
Yeah, whenever I bring him up, Mod 1 is probably one of his biggest fans, actually, because whenever I share one of his videos, he always gives his respects.
Man,
Yeah, it makes me think about where I'm at as a creator and how why haven't I done anything yet? I was thinking about this. I actually saw a video just today by Emperor Lemon, who is this former YouTube poop guy. Mm-hmm. He's going on to do like video essays, like about just stuff that he likes. He did one about Monday Night Raw. He did one about SpongeBob. And he's done like other stuff. Like there was like a retrospective of Leafy, like more than a year after his channel was removed or abandoned or whatever. And he was talking, like, anyway, this video that I watched by him, it was uploaded like a week ago, I think. And it was about his like experience on YouTube and how he like distanced himself from like YouTube poop, which was something that he loved to do initially, but then there was this backlash against him as he got more and more popular. And
from what I heard, the YouTube poop community is like fucking wolves.
Yeah, he did a pretty like big, like he was pretty critical on that too.
Yeah.
Like, and I had known about it, but I hadn't really seen it for myself until today.
What do you make on a video? Mine is Arthur watching porn. What's yours? Arthur getting hit by a bus. What knowest thou similar to mine die?
Yeah, it's really elitist and
I
sounds
hate
awful.
elitism. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck you if you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like,
unless you're a fan of us.
Yeah, and so fuck you twice as much if that's the case. But he was talking about how like YouTube poop by nature is counterculture. You take stuff that's in mainstream media and then just corrupt and remix it to your own liking, and how if you gatekeep that, then you're ending up it's no longer real.
Damn, that's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like when it stops being goofy and like free spirited, then it stops being real.
You put the chains on the genie.
Uh-huh.
If that makes any fucking sense.
Yeah.
You put the genie in the lamp, and it's
the
no
genie
longer
back
genie.
in the ball. Yeah. Yeah, like it reminds me of. It kind of makes me glad that I never like released any YouTube poops that I made. I made a few on about Degrassi actually back in the day, and maybe one of these days
we could make a compilation of them.
Like I only made like 3.
Idea: we review the YouTube poops.
I don't know if there's any fair way to review them.
Just watch them and go like, yeah, look what I don't know.
Like that's a thing that they did. That's interesting. So like you can't really, I don't know. It's either you like it or you don't.
I like some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I like creative ones.
Yeah, I mean like going back to the Gmod videos, a lot of those were heavily inspired by YouTube poop. I know that Kiddio706 actually did some YouTube poops of like Max Payne. He did one of the Mafia video games.
Man, Mafia. I remember Mafia too. My favorite line. I'm going on a date with who? Rose's fucking palms and her 5 fucking sisters. Because they're mobsters, they have to say fucking every sentence. That's how they. It's like me. I say that to space out my thought. I realize sometimes.
You ever watched The Sopranos?
Now remember, I'm a little kid when that came out.
Right.
I walked in when they sat in the poodle and I got really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the dog died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I walked in, like, wasn't there, like, an Amish guy on the show? Like, Amish mobsters?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. It's the one that I've been meaning to get around to watching.
It's the original Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's another series I have to, like, I have to finish that before I get started with The Sopranos.
Man.
I don't even know if Sopranos is on streaming sites or not.
It's out there somewhere.
I think it might be on...
Actually, my mom owns a complete set.
Okay.
By the way, I'm going to get you back at My Hero Academia Blu-ray. I apologize, dude.
That's fine. I was just thinking about it the other day, and it's like, I don't really need it back right away. But if you're not going to watch it, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Mm-hmm. I got sidetracked while trying to watch. I hate, when you're trying to watch something. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, it's like, my God, I'm trying to watch this really good show, but this other really good show comes out, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and then I don't know what to watch. Uh-huh. And back in the other day, you're running home as fast as you can. I gotta see that new Pokemon. Oh, fuck you, man. Mm-hmm. And you sit there and you watch reruns of Steve Irwin.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then you go, wow, it's amazing. He's doing that new Stingray documentary.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, I was the biggest Steve Irwin fan in the world. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you the story, okay? I woke up and and my mom's reading a newspaper and she, folds it up and puts it, down. Mm-hmm. She wouldn't let me watch Animal Planet that day. Never realized why. Went there, and I had this teacher who I don't remember her name, but Grundle Cunt would be a good one because that's what I think of her as. She opened it up to a full spread, and I see Steve Irwin. Cue the autistic noise. I was distraught for 4 fucking weeks.
Yeah. You ever watch? Speaking of, it wasn't an Animal Planet, it was Discovery Channel. But you ever watch Dirty Jobs?
Yeah, I like that show.
Yeah, that was a good one. That and MythBusters, those were the 1-2 punch that got me hooked on Discovery Channel back in the day.
I remember they had this show called Animal Planet's Top Tens. They had this one. It was one of my favorites of all time. They talk about, koala babies can eat eucalyptus. It's poisonous to them because they don't have the correct stomach bacteria. To get this bacteria, they eat their mother's shit. My mom cannot look at koalas without cringing. God.
Let's see. Anything else you want to talk about?
Real quick, I would like to mention one thing. One thing that I am constantly bugged by. It's in superhero comics. Have you ever realized that there's no fucking cosplayers in those universes? Like a guy's like, oh man, I got the materials. I could make a Spider-Man suit. And he's sitting on the street corner passing it out like, hey, city ordinances says I can't swing today. I'm going to pass out signatures. I think it's kind of fucking fun to do.
Well, I remember in the beginning of The Dark Knight, there were the Batman imitators.
And
Is it?
when he gets hung.
Yeah. Or it's like the part where he's like... I remember it's the part where Batman's getting back in the car. The guy's like, we're just trying to help, and he's like, I can't remember. It was like some line that's like stuck with me.
That movie was so fucking quotable.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it didn't stick with me because I can't remember the quote.
Like the quote, "Some men just want to watch the world burn."
Yeah,
Master Bruce.
Yeah, I just want to say the N-word really badly.
You sound like Snake when you do that.
No, Snape has a deeper voice. Harry Potter.
No, Snake.
Oh.
Metal Gear.
Oh, okay.
I have one good impression. It's Sing Sung from Mortal Kombat, the original. Welcome, traveler. Welcome, traveler. I am Sang Shung. Oh, fuck, I can't do it. I was doing it in here when you were walking in, but I fucking lost it.
Have you seen that video of the voice actor for Otacon talking about Hatsune Miku?
Oh no.
Is that like
he would be the kind of character to jack off to that when Snake's not on the fucking bus or whatever.
It was like he's like making a codec call and he's like warning Snake about Hatsune Miku. And he pronounces it weird, like Hatsune Miku.
No, you know what I love Otacon things.
Yeah.
I want to do like or codex, whatever the fuck you call it. Yeah. I wish he would have brought them back in Smash Ultimate. I want to hear the one for like fucking like Snake, like what is this? And it's fucking King K. Rool. It's a fucking crocodile with a cannon. Run. They have a Donkey Kong one. If I could write that one, I would have made them do like, be careful, Snake. He shoots his coconut guns in spurts. And then he God.
Yeah. One last thing I wanted to mention, or like ask you, what was your first mecha anime?
You can't Evangelion.
Yeah.
Evangelion.
How old were you?
Now, this is a two-part joke. I first remember seeing it in the early 2005, 6 as a little kid. I said, wow, that's like Godzilla. And she said, no. It was with my sister. But then a couple years later, I was on DeviantArt, and I saw this thing called the Evangelion Unit 1. Like, what's this? Link to the wiki. And then I was on there till I saw episode 1. Like, wow, this is what the fuck? I became so obsessed. Obsessed, not incest. Obsessed.
Freudian slip.
I was reading about Alabama shit today. I took out there. I tried cutting them out, and I made little dioramas of them. And then I got in trouble with school because they all had guns. Fuck you, Spectrum.
Yeah, I think my first mecha was...
Can I take a guess? Macross or a Gundam?
Gundam. It was actually, and it's probably not the one you're thinking of, because it wasn't Gundam Wing. It was actually the original Mobile Suit Gundam from like the 70s.
I'm getting into Gundam models. I'm thinking about getting myself one or two.
Yeah, that was actually the same here. I remember I had a Zoids model. Remember Zoids?
Yeah.
Those are the robot animals.
Do you know what I want them to make fucking models of? I want a Goran Logon, like in plastic model kit. And I want to build it, and I want to have a Unit 1 below it. So it looks like they're fighting or something.
Yeah, speaking of anime, there's one last thing I wanted to talk about. It's that, you heard the news about that girl in Japan who, the real-life yandere?
No.
Like, apparently she was this manic-depressive, it sounds like manic-depressive girl who was, like, stalking this guy. And one day she just, like, stabbed him, like, 50 times in the chest. The guy survived, thankfully, but, she was arrested and she's in jail. And a bunch of thirsty-ass weebs decided to have the bright idea to start a GoFundMe to bail her out. And they ended up successfully raising like $5,000. And it's just the saddest, most pathetic and deranged thing I've seen in real life. I mean, today.
I feel this deep bile coming out of my throat of pure... What the fuck is wrong with you weebs?
As if fictional yanderes weren't bad enough. But for real, though.
But still, fucking stabbed 50 times and survived?
I don't think it was that much. It might have been 20, but, it was just, like, she was quoted as saying stuff like, I wanted to die after I killed him or something. It's just, like, this really fucked up.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm just picturing this person stabbing someone 20 times and they still survive. I'd be fucking ashamed of myself as an attempt to be murder, but on a serious note, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, it's like...
They should track the accounts of people who did that.
It was people who were like, stab me next, mommy. It's like, ugh. Like, I know that there's people out there like that, but at the same time, it's just
You don't want to think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it deserves to be
mentioned,
dragged out into the light.
Yes, I agree.
People should be shamed for this more. Like, I think that that's harder to do now with social media, because once you start like saying, "Oh, you're a fucking faggot retard," you can't. Then you get banned.
Here's the thing: you gotta find ways around it. Look at Rare Insults; they got some great ones.
Yeah. Well, like I also bring up Slur Machine. I don't know how many people still use that, but the Dick Show, that's it was kind of a revolutionary thing, and I hope to see it used more often.
God,
you can actually go through the calendar too. So like if you see if you see an odd word with like a capitalized letter at the end, then you can actually like search that word in the Slur Machine archives and see like what day that was or whatever.
I'm just picturing this guy is like, what did they call you? They called me a freckle with a large capital E.
Yeah, basically.
And then the guy goes through it. Oh my God, lynch him!
Or actually, you have to go, like, you would have to put in the date that was posted.
Oh yeah.
And then it would show up. But yeah, it is a good way to evade like the bots at least.
Like here's something I hold true. Some of the best insults in the world don't have a single profanity in them. Mm-hmm. They're just hurtful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it makes me think about I think it was a thought I had a while ago where it's like if you call somebody a pathetic waste of skin, then that hurts a bit more than just calling them a faggot. So I don't know. I think it depends on like who you're asking, but I think generally speaking, the more thought you put into it, like the more it will like resonate with somebody that you just despise their guts.
Oh, once I called somebody a rodent and they actually took serious offense to that. Guy had really big buck... Oops, sorry, I hit the mic. Guy had really big buck teeth.
It's like, I'm a rodent sexual, you bigot.
Next time I saw him, I found out he got corrective dental stuff. These really fucking jagged teeth. You're welcome, fuckface. It reminds me of my favorite Jim Grenette story. There's this guy, they used to call him Bucky fucking Beaver. Mm-hmm. And apparently the man broke down crying. I want you to think, he was one of the top paid writers and producers of WWE, but he still had that fucked up teeth. Uh-huh. Do you see an issue with that? Uh-huh. I like to imagine he kept it so he could pry off beer bottles.
Mm-hmm. So to recap this whole episode, cartoon reviewers are pathetic, weebs are also pathetic, comic books still suck, and the WWE is still awesome. Would you agree?
Not so much on the last one. Kind of. It depends on who
let's rewrite that as Godzilla is still awesome.
Yeah, Godzilla's awesome and WWE can be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And until next time, I've been Tony.
I've been Zach.
And this has been The Monkey Bar.